At 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Family and friends are honoring the life of one of the people killed in a shooting and car crash earlier this week. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office identified the three as 27-year-old Ariel Martinez, 31-year-old Jonathan Medrano, and 37-year-old Roy Aldrete. Zaria Oates met with Aldrete's family today as they shared memories of someone they say the community loved.
It hurt. It hurt.
The night of June 18th changed John Alderete's life forever. It's the day his last living brother, Roy Alderete, was killed. John says Roy was better known as the smiling and sometimes goofy Roro.
This is us going to church, him acting goofy.
He was sitting on steps near this road on West Martin and Northwest 24th Street when two people driving a vehicle were shot and killed. Their car veered off the road, pinned him underneath the vehicle, and he later died at the scene.
It shouldn't have come down to that. I was really heartbroken.
San Antonio police are still searching for that shooter. A nearby gas station has the closest cameras to the scene, and while they're cooperating with police, their cameras are just out of view of the crime scene. John says everyone in the community knew and loved Roro.
This was Roro, you know. This was him, you know. You can't, there's no way you can look and not remember my brother being somewhere, you know, acting silly or just posted up. My brother will always be remembered.
Roro's memory shines through as dozens of family and friends gathered to honor him, pray for him.
So I ask that you let him fly. Allow us to mourn this time. Yes. But bring us back to peace and allow us to let us know that his life wasn't in vain.
And release balloons for him.
Surely through every struggle there is relief, and if this is a way to bring people together, at least that's something that I can say that his death wasn't in vain.
In San Antonio, Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
In a separate deadly case, San Antonio police are trying to piece together a shooting that happened around 4 this morning on the northwest side. Police say they were originally called to the 6400 block of Wurzbach Road for a crash, but on the way there, they were told shots were being fired at the same location. When they got there, they say the victim clearly had been shot and crashed his vehicle into a tree. He died there at the scene. SAPD still processing evidence and have yet to release any information on the suspect or the man who was killed. SAPD also looking for suspects responsible for shooting two people early this morning on the north side. Officers were just called before 2:30 to Carmel Place. That's a street between Blanco and I-10. A witness told police they saw one of those victims being pushed out of a white Dodge Ram truck. Officers say the other victim, a 20-year-old man, was shot in the foot as he got to a house party nearby. And investigators have not released any suspect information on that one either. It has been 1 year to the day since the death of Melissa Perez. San Antonio police shot and killed her in her apartment last year when she was experiencing a mental health crisis. Her death sent shockwaves across the city and led people to question how mental health calls are handled here. The Night Team's Avery Everett sat down with Perez's daughter, who says change still needs to happen in San Antonio.
I wish I can just go back and tell her how much I loved her. And
devastation only begins to describe how Melissa Perez's family feels.
1 year later, how are you doing?
I mean, I'll never be the same. I don't have my mom with me anymore.
Sunday marks 1 year since her death, and this family is still fighting for justice.
It's hard, and I feel like, I can't even grieve right because I'm seeking justice still.
3 San Antonio police officers were charged in Perez's death. SAPD says she was shot and killed early in the morning on June 23rd of 2023 while she was experiencing a mental health crisis. Body camera footage shows she had a hammer in her hand when police shot through her patio window and door.
My mom didn't deserve that.
What impact did that video have the first time you watched it?
Shock, rage, sadness.
You're gonna get shot!
SAPD confirmed its mental health unit was not called out to the scene before the shooting. And that's why Perez's death pushed people to question over the last year how the city handles its mental health response.
I want awareness. I want change, and I want everyone to not forget who my mom was, and I want justice.
But until the cultural and systemic problems of not disciplining officers, not giving them the training that they need, not intervening when somebody is losing their head, all of those things are needed in order to prevent this from happening in the future.
Tovar says she tries to stay positive with photos and audio recordings of their mom. Because even in devastation, she says her family is determined to fight for justice.
I won't stop. I want change. I want better change.
Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Now, that attorney says the civil cases are on hold until the criminal cases play out. Here's a summary of those criminal cases involving the 3 SAPD officers so far. Sergeant Alfred Flores, Officer Eleazar Alejandro, and Officer Nathaniel Villalobos were charged with murder in connection to Perez's death last summer. It's rare for law enforcement officers to be charged with murder in San Antonio. And at the end of last year, Alejandro and Flores were indicted for murder. Villalobos was indicted on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon by a public servant. The next court hearing for these officers is set for this Thursday, June 27th. As of now, all 3 officers were indefinitely suspended, but their attorneys confirmed to KSAT they have appealed. Since Perez's death, people have been asking how the city handles mental health calls. Doug Beach is the executive director for the Greater San Antonio National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI. He says some people he's talked to are hesitant to call the police when someone they love needs help. The city's trying to change that. The SAPD Mental Health Unit and city's SA Core program respond to most mental health emergencies. The Core units send mental health trained officers, paramedics, and licensed mental health clinicians. And the program just started offering services 24/7.
They're moving in the right direction. Mental health needs to be part of a lot of conversations.
Advocates also want us to talk about mental health more, so there's less of a stigma. If you or a loved one needs mental health support, we have a list of resources on KSAT.com. To politics now. We are now just 4 days away from the first debate between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. And the 2 candidates are preparing in very different ways. President Biden and his team spent the week at Camp David with former Chief of Staff Ron Klain heading up to debate prep, while former President Trump spent his weekend on the campaign trail. Thursday's debate will be a lot different from the last time the 2 candidates met back in 2020. The debate will be moderated and shown by CNN. There will not be an audience, and microphones will only be turned on for candidates when it is their turn to speak. The candidates will meet again for another debate on September 10th, and that'll be right here live on KSAT 12. KSAT is your home for election coverage. As always, that's now through election season. Just scan the QR code right here. It'll take you to our Vote 2024 page where you can find everything you need to know about local and national elections.
All right, switching gears now and taking a look outside with live cam this Sunday night. Skies have been clearing a little bit more. We had a beautiful start to the day, plenty of sunshine. A few passing clouds developed earlier this afternoon. Helped us with a little bit of shade here and there, but it was still a hot one. We topped off in the mid-90s. Here's the thing, that summer-like trend is going to continue all the way through the upcoming week, the last full week of June, if you can believe it. Here's a look at your Monday. Pretty copy and paste from what we saw today. Mid-70s, partly cloudy skies, highs once again reaching for the mid-90s in the afternoon, feeling like the triple digits. And sure, we'll keep a 10 to potentially 20% chance for a stray shower to develop into the afternoon. This is all thanks to high pressure that's going to be building back into the state of Texas over the next several days, which means highs will continue to stay in the 90s. Heat indices up to 105 degrees are expected for a few hours into the afternoons. And we also will continue that stray afternoon chance to find a quick shower or two, but unfortunately most of us are going to miss out. Not the same pattern that we saw last week. So we're going to time it all out to get you more of those details coming up a little bit later on, Court.
Thank you, Mia. Well, they're trying to adapt to expansion and construction around them. Now there's a new problem. Why a no-kill animal shelter in Converse says it's frustrated at a lack of answers from the city. There is only 1 week of Pride Month left, and there's still plenty of events to attend if you haven't gotten out there yet this month. Scan the QR code on your screen for a full list of everything going on for the rest of the month in San Antonio and across the area. A no-kill shelter in Converse says construction is putting the facility and the animals at risk. Crews have been working to expand Rocket Lane for nearly 2 years now. It runs right in front of Judson High School. The Converse Animal Shelter says adapting is already going to cost them thousands, and now a new issue has popped up. The shelter tells the night team's Daniela Ibarra they have questions the city hasn't answered.
Each one of these dogs is waiting for their forever home. Until that happens, Christian Colazzo says the Converse Animal Shelter will take care of them. But what's going on outside the entrance has made that hard.
I think it's been a hassle.
Since November, the shelter has raised concerns about the consequences of a city construction project. That's when we spoke to then Converse Assistant City Manager Howard Kuntz, who expected the project to be finished by late spring.
Never been a part of a capital project like this in my nearly 20 years of working in local government.
But 8 months later, the headache continues. A quick burst of rain last week dredged up a new issue.
So when it did rain, where all did the water go?
I believe as far as sort of like right here. Like it didn't go much further than this.
Inches of water pooled at the entrance. Employees say they had to wade through it to help the animals. Drains near the entrance are blocked with hay.
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, I don't think that's something we should have to deal with when the expansion of the road doesn't benefit us. It's for the school and the traffic.
Flooding isn't the only issue the shelter says is being caused by this construction. They say they've lost donations and adoptions have dropped down. They also say they're having to raise money for a new entrance.
Even if we move the entrance, the flooding is still going to be an issue with the dogs that we have to put up in the front runs.
Colazzo says the shelter wants to know what they'll have to fix themselves and what the city is going to contribute.
Going to do anything to help us to prevent the flooding?
Have you been able to get any answers from the city?
No, not really.
We haven't had luck either. We called Converse Mayor Al Suarez and left a voicemail and texted him twice. He read them, but hasn't replied.
If someone from the city was standing where I am right now, what would you tell them?
That we need help.
Help to find more of these pups loving new homes. Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
Thousands of people that live in Ruidoso, New Mexico were squeezed out of their homes last week because of 2 massive wildfires near the town. Tomorrow, they'll be able to finally go home, well, for those that have homes still standing. The fires destroyed hundreds of buildings and houses that left 2 people dead. And the FBI says 2 people are responsible for the fires. Thousands of dollars are up for grabs for information leading to arrests. The Associated Press reports while residents will return home tomorrow, the fires won't be completely contained until mid-July.
Yeah, Courtney, they could not catch a break last week. They had the fires, and then right after the fire started the next day, they had severe thunderstorms that were dropping very large hail. The rain that was just being dumped out of those storms, not helping with all of the debris. It was causing flash flooding. So hopefully as that situation continues to get better, those folks will be able to get back into their homes. So we'll definitely be keeping you posted on that story over the next several days. Until then, high pressure is in control for us here at home, which means rain chances not looking nearly as good as what we were dealing with last week. You can see where it's positioned right now, just parked over the state of Texas. All of that rain making energy is just being deflected around that area of high pressure. A couple showers moving across the Texas panhandle right now and even across the desert southwest. Here's the thing, that high pressure system, notice as we advance this on in time over the next few days, it's going to continue to be the main feature of our weather pattern here in San Antonio. So that is why temperatures will continue to stay toasty. For context, our average high for this time of year is 93. That's exactly where we topped off yesterday. We were a few degrees hotter this afternoon at 95 here in San Antonio. More of the same in store Monday into Tuesday, and then potentially a few degrees hotter by the middle of the week, but overall mid-90s, that's going to be the common trend each and every afternoon. And of course, when you factor in the humidity still in place, feels like temperatures will be a few degrees hotter there too. Somewhat typical of what you would expect for the last week of June. So here's what that translates to on your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Partly cloudy skies in store for the vast majority of our Monday. We're going to start off right around 76 degrees here in the Alamo City by 7 a.m. Also similar to what we saw out there earlier today, pushing 90 if you're stepping out for any lunchtime plans. And then into the afternoon, there's that forecast high right around 95 degrees. With that moisture in place, feels like temperatures could be in between about 101 to even 105 in a few locations. In terms of your actual air temperatures, I do think we all reach for the mid-90s. 94 in Canyon Lake, 94 as well for places like Seguin and Nixon, 95 tomorrow afternoon in Rio Medina. That is the same out in Hondo, 96 for places like Bandera as well as Sabinal. Feels like temperatures again in between about 101 to even 105 in a few locations, especially along and east of the I-35 corridor. So it is going to be another day to make sure that you're staying hydrated, of course, taking breaks from all of this heat out there. And also do know that the UV index is expected to be elevated in that extreme category, which means it only takes 10 minutes to start developing a sunburn if you do not have sunscreen on. So just something to think about if you are planning on being out and about for extended periods of time tomorrow. We did and managed to find a few stray showers out there earlier this afternoon and evening, mainly across our far southeastern counties. We're going to keep that 10 to potentially 20% chance for a few more isolated showers to develop into Monday afternoon, specifically in between about 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Unfortunately, more of us than not are looking to stay dry, and we're going to copy and paste that into your Tuesday, into Wednesday, and then a 20% potential by the second half of the week. So of course, we'll continue to keep you posted on that. If you missed it, this is the latest drought monitor that was released last Thursday. We definitely could use any rain that we can get. We still do have this extreme pocket of drought across the hill country and another one out west closer to the Rio Grande. Keep in mind though that that drought monitor update does not include the bulk of the rain that we saw last week. Here's a look at how those totals measured up. Here in San Antonio, we had 1.5 inches of needed rain. Pretty much the same over in Bernie. Over 2 inches recorded in Bulverde, 1.82 in Seguin, 1.54 over in Castroville. So that will be reflected in the new drought monitor update that is released on Thursday. So stay tuned for that as well. Until then, it is 85 degrees out there right now, but it still feels like 93 because of the humidity in place. Again, a very typical summer-like weather pattern taking shape this week, Courtney, with a slightly better chance, but still isolated potential for a few showers later this week and into next weekend. By the way, it's not just us dealing with the summer-like heat. In fact, there are heat alerts issued for a good portion of the lower 48. So coming up in the next half hour, we're going to get you a look at what those temperatures are forecasted to look like. That's coming up a little bit later on.
We've done this before. We need to stop wearing colors that signify hot temperatures.
I don't know why this happens every summer.
Next weekend, green and blue.
Cooler tones. Cooler tones.
We'll do it again. All right, thanks, Mia. And we'll see you on the other side of the break for a special preview of Instant Replay. Led by Victor Wembanyama, the future is bright for the San Antonio Spurs. This week, the organization will surround Wemby with more talent via the NBA draft. For a preview of what's on Instant Replay, here's Larry Ramirez.
Yeah, thanks, Courtney. We are a few days away from the NBA draft in Brooklyn, and KSAT 12 Sports will be there. Coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay.
The San Antonio Spurs select Victor Wembanyama from Nanterre, France.
A little over 1 year ago, the Spurs drafted Victor Wembanyama #1 overall. Now, we don't have an alien in this year's NBA draft, but there's still plenty of talented players for the Spurs to choose from with picks 4 and 8 in the first round.
Here he comes again on a 2-2 to Targac. And this ball is popped up into right. This one is now at the track, and that's where it will die when the wind brought it in.
Texas A&M suffered its first loss at the 2024 Men's College World Series today, falling 4-1 to overall #1 seed Tennessee. A&M was cruising along until the top of the 7th inning, and now the Aggies and Volunteers will play one final game, and it's a winner take all.
What's up? What's up?
Reality TV. That's pretty funny stuff. Oh.
You know what happens when a goalie stops the puck?
And tonight, the one and only David Sears will be here for his final instant replay. He is retiring at the end of this week after 40 years here at KSAT, where he did it all, sports news, and yes, even weather on one occasion. Help us send Sears off in style. Plus, we've got USA playing in Copa America, and Bernie champion long-distance running star Elizabeth Leachman talked about running in her U.S. Olympic trials debut 2 days ago with Mary Rominger. That and much more tonight on Instant Replay. Courtney, back to you.
It's going to be an unforgettable one. Thank you so much, Larry. Well, coming up, an incredible solution to a heartbreaking problem. We take you to a Hill Country ministry housing and healing trafficked women. Our Solutionaries team shows us why the staff there is so special and key to long-term recovery. The topic of trafficking might make you want to look away or click on something else, but stay with me. This does affect you. It doesn't just happen in foreign countries. It's not like the movies, someone being swiped into a car and driven off. It often starts online, criminals grooming children or adults who think they're in a relationship. Increased attention has agencies stepping up the work to prevent it, but also care for survivors. Our Solutionaries team found one very unique solution to recovery, and that's a small ministry right here in the Hill Country where 90% of the staff are sexual assault survivors.
Listen to this joy. Look at the love and the laughter. It doesn't look like a group of women who have been trafficked, but that's what it is. Not what you expected, right?
I was trafficked as a young child. As a teenager, I got pregnant at a very early age, which led to a lot of trauma unresolved in my life. I was trafficked again when I was 29. It started as a relationship with someone that I thought I could trust.
If you're a longtime KSAT viewer, you might recognize Carla Solomon and her awesome red hair. We interviewed her 5 years ago after she was rescued from a well-known trafficker who's now serving 2 30-year sentences for crimes against people like Solomon.
It resulted in me experiencing, attempted murder, starvation, drug abuse, physical, sexual, emotional abuse, all the above. And in 2016, I was recovered by DPS from a hotel in Texas.
During that original interview, she talked of a ministry she was helping start, a safe haven in the Hill Country where trafficked women could heal. They named it Mercy Gate Ministries.
You were the first person who was healed in this organization.
It's emotional.
So it was a full circle moment when we walked into this beautiful house, a 12-bed residential treatment center led by survivors like Solomon.
At the age of 7 and 11, I was molested, which started a whole bunch of trauma and rebellion.
Ashley Jones was trafficked twice in her life for a total of over 10 years before Houston police rescued her.
It was come and go, come and go. I would get away and I would go right back.
It's other survivors who understand why that happened and didn't make her feel shame about it. Trafficking survivors are abuse survivors, and statistics show that victims leave an average of 5 to 7 times before actually being able to cut ties.
Especially if they're very aggressive and abusive. You know, he would tell me all the time, if I didn't come back, I would show up at your mom's house or your grandma's house. I have a scar on my lip because of, leaving and not wanting to come back and going back and him retaliating.
When she did break away, she landed at Mercy Gate.
Them wanting to just love me and me to heal. I couldn't comprehend that at first. And a lot of the times it would cause me to want to pack my stuff and leave.
Did it help that the people trying to love on you were survivors?
Yes, it did. Carla is a big inspiration to me. I don't want to cry, but me and Carla had known each other for a long time.
Because of that survivor connection, Joan stayed and went through the whole program, which includes trauma therapy, lots of faith-based healing, art and equine therapy, and strict schedules that teach the women accountability and responsibility.
It was very, very helpful.
So helpful that after Jones finished the program, she decided to work for Mercy Gate, passing on her healing to other women. Last October, she left the ministry to get a full-time job she loves, and she's been reunited with her kids.
You're getting everything back?
All the things.
So it's possible.
Yes, it is very possible.
True recovery, no matter how severe the trauma.
I'm a survivor of familial trafficking. It looks a little different than what you've seen with Carla and Ashley. I was trafficked by my parents and stepfather. And so everybody as a child that I should have looked to for love and protection violated me.
Leslie Lehrman found refuge in a different recovery program and worked there for 6 years. But when her journey brought her to the Hill Country, she found Mercy Gate and felt a calling.
I developed the program. If there are things that aren't working, I look for solutions.
She oversees the program structure, the therapies, the training and schedules, and the disciplinary side.
That is a unique challenge because you don't want to re-traumatize someone, but you also want to hold them accountable to do what's right.
She has seen so many women thrive and find a sense of normalcy and happiness.
My favorite part of what we do is the family piece, seeing women restored with their children.
A stressful process that, with the help of a fellow survivor, can be easier.
I walked through reunification with my own children, and I'm able to offer them a lot of hope. I love working with CPS. And the whole reunification process.
The importance of survivor-led solutions goes far beyond the Mercy Gate home. Solomon works daily to make sure agencies big and small understand the survivor experience.
Training DPS, training law enforcement, assisting with sting operations, training a lot of service providers on trauma-informed care, which is super important.
No matter how long agents or officers have been on the force, they can't truly understand the mind of someone who's been trafficked.
Then you're not going to be effective in how you're going to approach them, interview them, assess them, or even how you're able to connect them to the resources.
She even partners with the judicial system.
A lot of times the women that we've helped in our program also have criminal charges, which are related or unrelated to their trafficking. We were able to offer continued legal education credits for attorneys and judges or any judicial officials.
Given Mercy Gate is a state-approved facility, their treatment program is an alternative for women looking at prison time.
You need the expert in that field. So to me, the survivors are the experts.
Experts that also have to choose their own recovery every day. Mercy Gate survivor staff members find that daily in their jobs.
How does this help you in your recovery?
Oh, wow. That's a big question. Watching their process helps me remember my process and sometimes give me grace when I don't hit the mark that I'm trying to hit.
As someone whose family broke her heart, Lehrman has a deep gratitude for her newfound support system.
Mercy Gate is absolutely my family now. The staff that work here, but also the women who come through the program, every one of them has a special place in my heart.
I've never experienced it, the healthiest side of life, like just people genuinely wanting to love you and care for you.
Oh yeah. It's a long-term recovery solution that works. The proof needs no explanation. These are the sounds of redemption, of healing, and of hope.
Those women are amazing. Mercy Gate Ministries in the middle of creating transitional housing now for clients who finish their program but aren't fully ready for independence or can't afford the current expensive housing market. They have the land and they've raised half the money needed to build their 12-bed facility. They have faith they'll soon be able to carry women through the last piece of their journey, not only to independence, but to freedom. All right, coming up after the break, dead pests and food stored on the floor found at a handful of San Antonio restaurants. Daniela Ibarra takes us behind the kitchen door next on the Nightbeat. A dead pest, gnats, and food stored on the floor. Those are just some of the violations health inspectors found at 3 different restaurants. Daniela Ibarra revives behind the kitchen door.
In
Inside this colorful building, health inspectors flagged several violations. La Jalisco on Nogalitos near Division Avenue earned a 61 on its May 2024 inspection. So, we went to find out if they've made corrections.
¿Hay un manager o el dueño del restaurante que está ahorita? Okay, porque tenemos algunas preguntas de la inspección de comida.
Even with several people behind the counter, an employee told us there wasn't a manager or owner present. She couldn't answer why the restaurant was observed improperly cooling some foods, including chicharrón guisado and raw beef. We couldn't get answers about why inspectors found raw beef patties stored above uncovered pancake mix. Metro Health reordered an inspection. A dead pest was spotted on the floor of Thousand Oaks Cafe off Thousand Oaks and Perrin-Bidle. Its score dropped in 4 months to a 79. An inspector noticed potatoes being stored on the floor. Tortillas were being kept in paper towels and other food stored uncovered. Inspectors had to shut down and reinspect Tex-Mex tacos on West Avenue near Blanco. Its score dropped to an 83 in May. It had no hot water. Meat juice dripped to the bottom of a freezer. Inspectors also saw gnats inside the restaurant. For Behind the Kitchen Door, I'm Daniela Ibarra.
Yeah, no thanks.
Not what you want.
No.
I bet the heat makes it so much harder to.
I'm sure.
All of those restaurants.
I'm sure. All right, get it together. Hey, looking at some airplanes, it looks like, that are approaching San Antonio International. That's always fun to catch.
Welcome to the heat.
Welcome to the heat and humidity. I remember that, like if you were on a plane somewhere else, and then the second that you get off here in San Antonio, you're like, I'm here. I'm back in San Antonio. Yes, it was a hot and humid one out there today, but pretty seasonable, all things considered. 73 was our low temperature. The average is 74. 95 was our observed high, just 2 degrees above the average of 93. Thankfully, nowhere near the record, though, of 102 that was set back in 1990. Most of us did reach the 90s. It was 99 in Del Rio, so near 100 degrees out there in southern Valverde County. 91 in New Braunfels, 95 over in Pleasanton. Notice tomorrow afternoon, very similar. There's that copy and paste forecast that is going to continue through the upcoming week. We're going to get you another look at all those details coming up after the break.
I miss when it was last week and we had like fun rain things to talk about.
It was so nice.
We just have to talk about the heat again.
Not only did we get beneficial rain, but just walking outside and it not being hotter than the surface of the sun was
what
fantastic.
It's all about. What it's all about.
It was all worth it, right? Yes. Unfortunately, not looking at the same setup as we look ahead to the last full week of June. High pressure already in place. It's not going anywhere in the days ahead. Highs still in the mid-90s. Heat indices up to 105, possible for a few hours into the afternoons. And yes, a few stray showers possible. The best chances of finding that, like this afternoon, will be across our southeastern counties, closer to the coast. Unfortunately, most of us will miss out. So do consider yourself lucky if you tap into a quick shower here and there. It is not just us. As we mentioned earlier in the newscast, it's dealing with this heat. Take a look at this. While we don't have any active heat alerts in place across our viewing area, it is a different story. Northeast Texas, up into the Central Plains, and even over into the Deep South, Louisiana, Mississippi, even the Florida Panhandle, dealing with some heat advisories into our Monday. And Southern California, near the West Coast and near San Diego, excessive heat warnings in place. Take a look at forecast high temperatures across the lower 48 tomorrow. Yes, we're in the mid-90s in the Alamo City, but check out a few areas that will be hotter than us to our north. Dallas expected to hit the triple-digit mark. Same over in Little Rock, Arkansas. 102 is the forecast high in Wichita, and then you get even closer to the 110-degree mark near Las Vegas and Phoenix, Arizona. Of course, it's a drier heat out that way, so at least they're not having to deal with as high of a heat index. For us here in San Antonio, mid-90s will continue to be the theme over the next several days, just a few degrees above the average high for this time of year. But what you don't see on the 7-day forecast, thankfully as of right now, no triple digits. In fact, so far this year, we've seen 7 triple-digit days here in San Antonio. Remember, last year we set the record for the highest number of 100-degree-plus days seen in a given calendar year at 75. That beat out 2009 at 59 by a rather large margin. So at least we're not there, but it will feel like it in the afternoon, so still be careful out there. Again, here's what your Monday looks like. 76 degrees at 7 a.m., partly cloudy skies, 83 by 10 a.m., already in the low 90s by about 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And then there's that forecast high around 95 with those feels like temperatures in between about 101 to 105 degrees. And once again, another check at that futurecast, not as impressive as what we were looking at this time last week. Just a few isolated speckles on the radar possible tomorrow afternoon and into the early evening, especially across the coastal plains. You can see here on our futurecast in the upper levels of the atmosphere with this high pressure just kind of wobbling around over the state of Texas. That rain making energy is just going to be deflected around the center of that system. So that's why we just have that 10 to potentially 20% chance in the forecast here all the way through the upcoming week. So we'll continue to keep you posted on that. Until then, here's temperatures outside right now, low to mid 80s across the board. We're going to start off tomorrow mid to upper 70s. That will continue on as well over the next 7 days, with partly cloudy skies still being the theme. Speaking of which, Courtney, here we go. Our favorite thing on a Sunday night. We love all the awesome sunset photos. Thank you to those that sent those into KSAT Connect.
It makes us happy so we don't have to be so sad about the temperature.
Exactly. It's the best way to wrap up the weathercast.
Exactly. Thanks for keeping us happy, guys. Well, the box office is coming back to life, mostly thanks to a certain animated sequel. Their early estimates on the top 5 films in theaters this weekend.
You don't have a home, do you?
The Garfield movie tied for 4th place, gobbling up $3.6 million. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was the other film, gathering up $3.6 million for a domestic total of $164 million. Cruising into 3rd place, The Bike Riders, which debuted with $10 million. Bad Boys Ride or Die stayed in 2nd, grossing $18.8 million. It's at $147 million domestic.
I wish I was as tall as all of you.
Who the heck are you?
I'm Envy.
A record-setting weekend for Inside Out 2. The Pixar pick made $100 million, the best second weekend ever for an animated film. The sequel's 10-day domestic total, $355 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
See it. All right, the 2024 Copa America is underway, and the United States is hosting the tournament for the 2nd time, having hosted it in 2016. For a preview of what's on Instant Replay, here's Larry Ramirez.
Thank you, Courtney. Team USA started its Copa America schedule today with Bolivia, coming up tonight on Instant Replay.
Pulisic has it back now through the traffic. Pulisic, what a goal!
The United States is hosting the Copa America for the 2nd time, and today the USMNT opened its schedule with the win versus Bolivia, improving to 6-0-0 at Jerry World. We got that, as well as Mexico's group stage victory against Jamaica.
I got to race against a lot of really amazing people, so that was definitely a cool thing to do.
Our Mary Rominger went one-on-one with Elizabeth Leachman, who's back in the area after running in the 5,000 meters race at the U.S. Track and Field Trials in Oregon. The 16-year-old from Bernie Champion High School wasn't 100% healthy, but she held her own against some of the best from the United States. And we're talking the NBA draft going down this week in Brooklyn. Plus, David Sears is in the house for his final Instant Replay. After 40 years in the business, he's retiring at the end of the week. That and a whole lot more right after the Nightbeat. Courtney, back to you.